Okay, so 100 coin is in a dip. Not the first dip it's ever had. Won't also be the last dip it's ever had. But since I've talked about it on my channel, and I look at comments and different things, people always want to know what's going on and what should I do? And, I'm scared and all that. And I've talked about this before. I talk about it during my course and different things like that. Again, you have to check my track record. I have helped multiple people become millionaires. Like whenever you think about taking advice from somebody, especially financial advice, you need to look at like, okay, like what is this person's history? What is their background? Why should I be listening to anyone, right? And there are too many people on YouTube who are giving out advice, people who have more followers than I have, get more views than I do, that are simply not qualified. And a lot of you guys are listening to them rather than listening to someone that's living off crypto, listening to someone that has helped people become millionaires. And I talk about the millionaires, but I don't talk about, just the dudes that I've helped make six figures. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more of them, right? So, again, we've talked about this before, but I just have to go back. 100 has been through 30, 40% dips before. Okay. This doesn't even show the full history of 100. Okay. But you can see here, um, June 25th, it was 52.16, and then 33.8 something. That's like let me see. That's like a 40-50%. That's like a 40% dip right there. You see what happened? It recovered. Um, there's another 20% dip there. Okay. Then it was at 0.000746, and here's another 30% dip there, and then dip some more. Um, and then it ran up to all-time highs. So, it's been through this before, right? And there's a reason why 100 keeps coming back, and I'm going to talk about that later. All right, but I'm just going to share with you, for those of you who are following me and watching and everything, I'm assuming you want financial freedom, right? I'm assuming that you want something better for your life and everything like that. And everybody says that, but the reality is, most people are not willing to do that, right? People talk about the 1%, and there's a lot of 1% who just made money just because of their connections, their dad, their mom, whatever. There's a number of them, but there's a lot of 1%ers, especially crypto 1%ers, that did what I do. And the reason why they are 1%ers is because they do things that literally only 1% of people are willing to do. And that's when they identify a great project, they stay with it, right? So going back to Bitcoin, there are people who got in Bitcoin back here, before here, for less than $1, right? That sold before it went up to $1,000. Okay, right? Because they couldn't hold, just couldn't hold. Then it goes up from there, and again, just full disclosure, I bought at the highest price. Highest price. I bought at $1,000, and then I had to watch as Bitcoin fell 85%. 85%. It went down to 100. You're gonna see if this shows it, but trust me, it went down to $150. How many of you would have held that? Okay, now everybody watching is gonna say, "Oh, I would have held. I would have had." The reality is, most of you would not have held that because your mentality is different, right? I held it because I already had experience with other things that I did not hold, stocks that I did not hold. Like I'm, I only got this from experience, guys. Like I'm not sitting up here talking like, "Oh, I'm better than you" or anything like that. It's because I was doing this stuff already with stocks. I was missing out on Apple stock and other stock and Amazon stock and all that when it was really cheap because I was trading it, right? Some bad news would come out about a stock and I'd sell it because I thought it was bad news. And it was bad news. Sometimes it was legitimately bad news. Oh, I'm going to sell that. And then what happens? It's called investor inattention. You sell that, you go looking for something else, and then next thing you know, whatever profits you had, you've lost because the next project is not as good as the first one. So I held for years, right? Not in profit, not in profit. But I was making a mistake. And I'm going to talk about that when we get to 100, right? I was making a mistake right here. But when you know it, being patient, look, it goes up to 19,000. Doesn't show it here, but trust me, it went up to 19,000. Then what happened? Okay. Then it dips again to 3,500. That's more than 50%. That's like Bitcoin has been through multiple, like 80% corrections. Multiple, right? And so, all the papers, because the banks don't want Bitcoin to win. The banks are just now accepting that Bitcoin is going to win, right? And all the papers are saying, "Oh, see, we told you so. Bitcoin sucks. Just trust the bank. Just trust this, right? Just trust the dollar." Meanwhile, they're scooping it up from you because you sold, or most people sold, and then look at what happened. If you bought down here, there's a 20x. I don't want you to look at this as trading because the trader in you, oh, well, you just wait for the dips and buy. Okay, yeah, you can do that. But the reality is the people that bought back here and held made the most. Yeah, if you bought here and sold here, all right, yeah, sure, you could have made almost a 20x. But if you bought back here, like I did, and did nothing, then literally you made 70 times your money. And if you continue to hold, as I am, I'm telling you, Bitcoin is going to be $1,000,000. But again, you see another dip happens. This time it dipped down to 16,000. Look at where we are now. Right? So honestly, what you really want to be looking for, even if you invest back here, you want these dips. I want to show you something else before I get into that. You want these dips. Okay, here's another coin that I was in. BNB is in the news today because the dirty SEC and the powers that be made him resign. Like it's really crazy, man. Shout out CZ, right? But I was able to get BNB coin for $1. I saw it at 20 cents, which is another clue. Okay, I had the opportunity to get it at 20 cents, but I bought it for $1, right? And after I bought it for $1, within a couple of weeks, it literally went to like $20. Okay, you can see here. There you go. January 14th, 2018. $22. Right? And so again, because now I had been in Bitcoin for a good while by this time, right? So I already knew. It didn't even cross my mind to sell. It didn't even cross my mind to sell. Why? Because I knew that Binance was going to be the best exchange. Before Binance came out, people who were used to like proper investing, like I was, there was nothing available. And to be honest, there's still not much available. The other exchanges have come about, and they're improving, but there's nothing like Binance, which is why it's number one, which is why this whole time the SEC has been trying to force him out because they want his business, right? But we're not going to talk about that in this video. But that's what it's about. All the fudge you hear about CZ is just that. If my man really did something wrong, they would have put his ass in jail, right? Like Sam Bankman-Fried is up under the jail. CZ's not going to jail because he didn't do anything wrong. They just forced him out because they want his business, right? But again, I held, and this time on any kind of dip, what was I doing? I was accumulating. I was buying more. Any type of dip, I was buying more, right? And so it was around here. That's when I started doing courses and everything like that. And when I started my course, literally Binance was $15. And I told people that BNB was going to be $300 one day. That's what I said, one day. I didn't give a timeline or whatever. I said it's going to be $300 one day. And you watch this, literally within months, it was 300 and something bucks. Actually went up to 600 something. Okay, so even though I famously bought Bitcoin at $1,000, I probably made as much or more. I have to look at the numbers on this because Bitcoin taught me, hey, when it dips, buy more. When it dips, buy more. Okay, and I didn't do that initially with Bitcoin. I do that now. Right? When Bitcoin dropped to 3,500, like I showed, man, I was buying. When it dropped to 16,000, right here, I was buying like crazy. Right? So yeah, I probably made more on BNB because I was accumulating here. But most people can't do that. Most people, when they see the dips, they run. People generally, they only want to get into things that are going up and up and up, and they buy, thinking that it's going to perpetually go up and up and up, and eventually, there's a correction. Like let's talk about what's actually, going on, right? So you don't get it twisted. Is this guy right here? You see this 22,000 sale? He had 3 accounts, and he sold 22,000, 5,000, and 9,000 worth. Okay, so it's one guy. Everything else is just reaction to that guy, fear, basically. Oh, what's going on? What's happening? Right, and nobody knows who this is, but I'm just telling you what's going on. And so I want to explain. I don't know why they sold, but one reason could be he invested $800 and got back in this one trade 22,000. Okay, and so if you've never experienced that before, if you've never experienced turning $800 into 22,000, a lot of people are going to get shaky or whatever, or they might, read something on the internet, or they start talking to their wife or their girlfriend, right? Or they start looking, at a car or something like that. And they like, oh, well, man, I'm just going to take this. Right? Again, I don't know what this situation is, but literally this person, obviously knew what was up because they were staking 100 and all of that, but they had 3 different accounts and they sold them all, and everything else is just a reaction to that. But they almost 30x their money just based on this one. I haven't even looked at the other ones that they have. Right? Now, I just want to tell you guys, just as a side note, like, no matter how much it is, you don't want to do this. Now this person, whoever he or she is, I'm betting they're going to get a nice surprise next year, because I'm telling you guys, MetaMask is working with the government. MetaMask is very much in tune with the government. And the government, it took them a while, but they know now that they can track your trades through MetaMask. Like, that's the easiest way to track your trades. And so if you don't know, if you sell your tokens in less than a year, that gets taxed at regular income tax rates. But if you hold for more than a year, it's literally just like stocks, capital gains tax. And in the United States, that's 15%. And all over the world, it's capital gains tax is always a lower tax than regular income tax. So a lot of people have, if you know anything about 100, you know that the devs haven't sold a single token, right? They haven't sold anything. First of all, the devs only allocated themselves 1% of the tokens, which is less than Bitcoin. Even Satoshi has 5% of all the Bitcoin. The devs only allocated themselves 1%, which should tell you everything you need to know about the devs, right? And they haven't sold. And I'm sure they haven't sold because they know what's coming. Only they know what they're building. I'm just speculating, guys. Only they know what they're building, right? But part of that reason, I'm sure, is because of the taxes. But I'm not going to, do a tax video. I'm just letting you guys know, because I know a lot of y'all don't know. You're gonna pay. They're gonna find you, and they're gonna pay a higher tax. So not only do you make more money if you hold, you get to keep more money as well, right? But this is the situation with this person. This is what happened. Nothing about the coin change. Nothing about the code can't be changed, guys. The code is what you call immutable, just like Bitcoin. It can't be changed, right? And the team, like nobody else in crypto is doing this. They're still producing videos. The community wrote a song, right? And so the team develop like a music video for the song. All of this stuff, first of all, no other crypto is doing, and it costs time and money. And so the fear that everybody has in crypto, right, is that, this crypto is going to rug, because it happens literally every day. Well, you know what doesn't happen? What doesn't happen is teams spend a bunch of money and time and effort making videos like this and then rug people. If these devs were going to rug, they would have rugged at 10x or 100x. We're sitting now about 1,000x. It was higher. They haven't done anything because they know what they're building. They know what they're building. The goal is 10 billion market cap, right? Shiba, who I don't have pulled up, Shiba's sitting at a 5 billion market cap. Shiba fundamentally does not have what 100 has, which brings me back to this. How do you know when to hold and when to fold? Like I said, it's the crypto millionaires are able to find the good projects. How do you find the good projects? By investing in bad ones. You have to be in a bad project to know when you're in a good one, right? Or you have to be in some crap to know when you're in something of substance. So when you're dealing with stuff, especially before it hits exchanges, which I've told you before, that's how I make like the real money. The real money is finding stuff before it gets listed. Very rarely, I have in the case of BNB, BNB is one of the few things that I've 100x'd on because it was on an exchange, after an exchange, and that's because BNB was the exchange. So that was that was the easiest opportunity I've ever, involve myself in. That was the easiest one. And back here, I was telling my wife, right? I'm like, again, this is the person, I bought Bitcoin at $1,000. We didn't have floors. We had floors and everything by this point, right? But we owned our house free and clear. And I was telling my wife back then, I'm like, baby, we should sell our house and put it all in BNB. This is what I was telling her when BNB was $5 and $10. And even though I had had success with Bitcoin, she wasn't going for that one. Now I could have just did it. She would have went with me. She would have went with me, but I didn't want to upset my kids and their school and everything, and we really didn't know where we was gonna go. I hadn't identified the country we were gonna go to yet. But I'm just telling, when I know something, brother, I know it. Sis, I know, right? That would have been a huge, huge one. I still made a bunch of money, but I mean, I could have bought a lot more BNB, right? And those are the type of decisions that, in order for you to be a crypto millionaire, that you take, but you only take it with things that you know that are legit. Bitcoin is legit. BNB, coming out with the tools and everything that it came out with is legit. Now, did I think it was going to be $600 at that time when I bought it? No. But I knew to be patient. So what is it that's so special about 100? That is something different. It's not just the artwork. It's not just the team. It's the code. And very simply is this. If you have Bitcoin in a wallet and some kind of way a hacker gets access to your wallet, they will be able to take your Bitcoin. They will be able to take your BNB flat out and any other token. But if you just bought 100 within 100 hours, or you just bought a little bit more at any time within 100 hours, the hackers will be able to take everything except 100. Or if you didn't top up, right? You didn't buy $5, $10, $15 worth just to reset your timer, then the hackers would be able to take the 100, but they won't be able to sell it. And just this week, I think this week or last week, somebody lost over 2 billion tokens. Now, this guy that we're talking about, the guy that everybody is worried about, this was 216 million tokens plus the other tokens he or she. Imagine a 2 billion token sale, right? So he got hacked. It was his own fault, but he got hacked for his tokens. Okay? But once the hacker got the tokens, they couldn't do anything. And according to the devs, the guy contacted them and said, hey, this has happened to me. I just want to let you know, I signed up for a fake airdrop. Guys, if it doesn't come from the 100 team, right, then it's fake. If it's not coming from the website, right, 100coin.io, if you're not seeing it on their official, right, here's the airdrops right here. If it's not from here, it's fake. It doesn't matter what the message says or hey, you're going to get twice the airdrop. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the official information. It's like people even still, it's greed. A lot of times the people that get fish, unfortunately, not every time, but most of the time it's greed. Just being greedy. 100 is already giving out airdrops. Here's somebody sending you a DM that you didn't ask for, talking about a random airdrop, and now they steal all your tokens, right? So this is what happened. And because of the code, the devs were able to identify it, and two things happened. Number one, they stopped that individual from dumping those tokens on the market. And number two, they found the scam contract that this hacker uses and blocked them all. So now, not only can they not dump those tokens, now with those specific devices that they use, nobody else can get scammed. Now, they can just create another one, but I'm just saying the specific method that they use, they can't use anymore. And the devs reported it to, like, there are organizations within crypto that focus on scams and stuff. The devs reported it to them as well. So now they get marked. I think even Binance they reported it to. If that was Bitcoin or BNB or Ethereum or any other token, in 1 minute, those tokens would have been sold and dumped in a minute. That is the biggest advantage that 100 has. On top of they're doing the artwork and the community is incredible, and on top of all of it, like, that's how you know. Right? And people who've been in crypto, they know. And this is still very much, even still today, as much as it's growing, it's still less than 1,000 people. And still, especially right now, we're what is this? Like, not, let me see. Oh, wow. 1,000, no, excuse me, 600x away from Shiba. Okay, because we're at what? Like 9 million market cap now. And Shiba's at 5 billion. And Doge is at 8 billion. It's like, you're crazy. Like, even though you made a lot of money, this is probably going to end up being millions of dollars or close. Or you at least want to give yourself that chance. Like, this is what I don't understand about people. If you're worried, if you invested $150 and you're concerned, right? And you got like 3 or 4,000 now, then sell the 150. Sell the 150 and let the rest ride. You don't sell your whole bag for whatever stupid reason, and then you're gonna look up and in a year or 2 or 3, again, don't know, man, these tokens are gonna be worth potentially a lot more if the devs, keep building and stuff, and everything that they're doing is suggesting that they will. We're waiting on the next airdrop right now at 100 million. Right? And so that encourages everybody that's involved to get your family involved, get your friends involved, because you can trust it, because it's original. The code is original. They're doing cool stuff. The community, like, these are all the things. You won't find, I dare you, try to find a better community. Like, I've never seen a community like create a song. Like, that never even crossed my mind. Right? And it's a pretty cool song too. And then for the team to follow that up with, hey, we're going to, because you did this, we're going to do the artwork. Oh, and by the way, we're going to save you, from scams. And oh, by the way, we coming out with new products. And like, it's like, seriously, what else are you going to invest in? Right? You're going to follow right now. Okay. Again, because these folks here, boy, they swear you're gonna follow some dude on YouTube that's telling you that XRP is the next big thing, and It's going to take over the world. And literally, we're already at 31 billion market cap, number one. And not only that, this is amazing. There's still another 50 billion tokens yet to be released. The time to get into XRP was back here. The time to get into XRP was back here. And if you look at it, it's a similar, I keep forgetting, it's a similar supply to 100. It's 100 billion XRP, it's 101 billion 100. For those of you who don't believe that 100 can hit these levels, here is proof right here. And 100 has more to offer, significantly more to offer at a cold level than XRP. XRP has politicians and cronies and relationships and all of that, but there's absolutely nothing special about their code, and absolutely nobody is building on their thing right now. But it still blew up for those that got in early. But you're at 30 billion now, 50 more billion yet to be released, and literally 3 or 4 guys have 70 to 80% of the tokens. But you're gonna sell a young project that has the potential to get here for this to get into a $32 billion project rather than hold something at 9 million. Even if it never gets to 32 billion, if it just gets to a billion, you 100x from here, which you're probably already up 10x. That's how you crypto. That's how you anything. That's how you stock. That's how you try to find stuff that's gonna emerge that people aren't talking about. This is what crypto millionaires do. And when dips happen, when they happen, you get excited. Right? Even if you missed XRP here, and you did, it dipped. And those that bought on the dip were able to make some money. Right? Same thing here. You bought on the dip, you made some money. Bitcoin, you bought the dips, you made some money. So when you see this, you shouldn't be like, oh man, what's going on? Oh, I don't know what's happening. It was just going up and up and up, and now I see this big thing. You should be excited about these dips. You should be like, oh man, I get to get some more 100, right? Same token, same team, same everything for a lower price. This is what people who end up making it do. But the people who don't end up making it and won't end up making it end up getting scared, being fearful, not finding out what's going on and running. And then 9 times out of 10, especially in crypto, is so much crap out here. How do you think 100 has beaten everything this year, guys? This is the number one thing this year. How do you think that's the case? There's 20, 30,000 cryptos. So the chances that you're going to find another 100 are very, very slim. Right? But you're going to find that out if you fade this. I'm buying more. It's your boy BSG. I'm going to holler at y'all in the next video.